What is up, Insaners, and welcome to another video of the Fantasy Premier League 2022-23 season. Now in this one guys, we'll be covering our first potential draft for Game Week 1. Guys, make sure that you give this video a thumbs up if you like what you see today. You can also subscribe to the channel to catch up on all the preseason content and have a strong start to the season. So let's start with the defense first. In defense, we have two goalkeepers. One of the goalkeepers who will be our starting goalkeeper is a 4.5 goalkeeper in the name of Sanchez. With so many good premium options available in defense and midfield, I think it's better to go for a cheaper keeper and look for value here. It's a very close call between Sanchez and Raya guys. Sanchez, considering that he plays for a slightly superior defense and Brighton are generally tight at the back, I think he's a good pick to go for. The long-term fixtures are great guys. You can absolutely target him and then try to get in better defenders, more attacking defenders in your team. Both Sanchez and Raya can make a lot of saves guys, and they can give you a lot of FPL points, hence providing a lot of value. Our second keeper is a 4 million goalkeeper, as we don't like to play with rotating keepers. It's generally very tricky to kind of go for them and then nail it in the right way. In terms of our defenders guys, we're going very heavy at the back. We're playing with all 5 playing defenders. Now to talk about the structure guys, we have a couple of 4.5 million value defenders who could be quite attacking and provide us attacking returns. Now these two names are Tomiyasu and Johnny guys. Now Tomiyasu also plays as a fullback, Johnny will also be playing as a wing back, and both could provide immense value. To start off with Tomiyasu guys, he's a defensive minded fullback and he might not be as attacking as a Kieran Tierney, but I think at 4.5 he still provides a lot of value considering that he's playing for one of the better defenses in the league. Arsenal in fact guys was quite an elite defense last season, and if they can replicate the numbers of last season and Tomiyasu could provide attacking returns, I think this is a very good move to make. It'll be very interesting to see if he can nail that right back spot guys, and if he can, I think he's a great pick. Same can be also said for Johnny guys. If he's quite sure in terms of minutes, if you're very sure that he's going to start, I think he looks very attacking, he has good goal threat, and he can also create chances. Plus you're getting all of this for a Wolves defender who were really good last season for majority parts. Wolves, as we know, they're a defensively sound team, and I think if you're looking for a cheaper option, a 4.5 million option, then Johnny, if he's getting regular minutes, is a great one. The other 3 are premium options guys. Trent is probably the only one who's absolutely nailed in this lineup. He's 7.5 million, he's the best Liverpool defender in terms of FPL points, in terms of attacking absolute returns, and I think he's a definite one to go for. If you're looking for a cheaper option, you can of course go for Robertson, and if you want to double up on the Liverpool defense, that's also an option, but for this draft, we're only gone for Trent. The other 2 defenders are also from premium defensive teams guys. We're splashing the cash on defensive options. Last season we saw that going big at the back, especially going for fullbacks and wingbacks like James and Cancelo, that proved to be the game changer. Honestly, I don't think Cancelo is facing any risk in terms of minutes. I think he's pretty much nailed in that Pep setup, and he can provide attacking returns as well. He bombs forward a lot, he occupies multiple positions, and that is also good for bonus, and I think he's a great option, probably the best option in that City backline. If you want to go cheap, Laporte is also an option who provides a decent goal threat, but I still feel Cancelo is a superior pick. Now in terms of the other defender, James, I think there's a debate to be had here in terms of what's going to happen with Chelsea, considering that they have lost a couple of defenders, a couple of centre backs. I'm pretty sure more signings are going to come. The defense is probably going to be the same or maybe even improve, and with that fact guys, I think James, with all that attacking potential, I think he'll do really well. The only concern with James is his minutes, considering that we have the 5 substitution rule and there are chances that he might be hooked off a little earlier in the games this season. I think preseason is really important to keep an eye on his fitness levels, and based on that, we can go for him. Another slight worry would be that if he plays as a right centre back, for example, if Chelsea are not able to sign a centre back or a couple of decent players, I think there's a high chance that James plays there, and in that case guys, his attacking potential will be very limited, and then the likes of Chilwell might be better options still playing in that wing back position. Chilwell was injured for quite a lot last season guys, and if he's showing form, if he's showing fitness levels, I think he also could rival this position with the likes of James. Now coming to midfield guys, like the defense, Salah here, for me at least, looks quite nailed. I think it'll be very difficult to go without Salah, considering that Liverpool have really good attacking fixtures and they're all captainable games for the likes of Salah. In fact, there's a conversation to be had here in terms of which Liverpool triple option to go for. In this draft, guys, we've gone for Luis Diaz, but you can also argue for someone like a Robertson who could be more nailed in that Liverpool backline and might just provide more value with the additional clean sheet points. Diaz, on the other hand, guys, of course he did really well last season, but there are chances that he might get some rotation. I think we still have to see what happens with the likes of Nunes and Jota. I think both of them will probably share off minutes, will probably take off minutes from each other, and Diaz might be a bit more nailed on that left hand side for Liverpool. If that's the case, guys, I think he could provide a lot of value. Even at 8 million, I don't think so, his price is quite high, and I think he's a great option to go for. Now, if you see, this draft has 3 8 million midfield spots, guys. If you want, you can probably go for 2 and you can adjust the money elsewhere. But I think having a couple of 8 million spots at least provides you a good cover, guys, and a lot of variation can be done with this, considering that we have the likes of Mount and Maddison to add up in that 8 million spot as well. If you're looking at Tottenham cover, of course you can go for a Kulusevski as well, who's also 8 million. So there are options here, and in that 8 million spot, guys, considering the fixtures, whosoever has the best attacking fixtures, you can get in those players and target their potential. For this draft, guys, the other two 8 million spots that we've gone for are Saka and Mahrez. Now, talking about Mahrez first, guys, I think he could really benefit from the likes of Gabriel Jesus and Raheem Sterling leaving the club, and this season could be the season, guys, where he get regular minutes. We've all seen how explosive he is in terms of his FPL potential, and if he can get regular starts for Man City, guys, I think in that 8 million spot, he could be a bargain. The other option is Saka, guys. Now, Saka is a pretty interesting one because his price has risen to 8 million, and now there's Gabriel Jesus and Martinelli to compete with. There's also not a certainty, guys, that he's probably going to be on penalties. Maybe it's going to be Gabriel Jesus, maybe some other player for now. But I think at 8 million, he still provides a lot of value. We saw last season that he was spearheading all of Arsenal's attack. I mean, whatever was going through the likes of Saka. And I think pre-season would probably tell us a lot more. But for now, guys, I think Saka could be a great option. Now, if you want to save some money here, if you feel the likes of Saka may not be as effective as last season, you can also go for Martinelli, who's 2 million cheaper here. That should probably allow you to get in some additional funds for the likes of Gabriel Jesus, who you can update as a second or maybe even a third striker. The final option that we have here is Andreas Pereira, guys. Now, Pereira's move has been confirmed to Fulham, making him a starting 4.5 million midfielder in FPL. Now, what makes it even better, guys, is that Pereira is likely to play in a relatively attacking role, so he doesn't only just guarantee starts, but there's also a potential for attacking returns, which is quite rare for a 4.5 million midfielder. Also, in a year with very few appealing 4.5, maybe even 5.5 midfielder options, Pereira could definitely be the standard option from an FPL perspective. Guys, I think he's a great 5th midfielder option. If you're looking to go a bit heavy in terms of a midfield as you're playing 4, you can probably go a bit cheaper, save some money, get some value from the likes of Andreas Pereira. Now, from a forwards perspective, guys, I'm pretty sure you'll be very interested to see that there's no Haaland in this draft and we have Harry Kane. Now, guys, there's a lot of conversation around the likes of Haaland. Everybody's probably going for him. He's going to be a popular option, but right now at this moment, I'm just not sure about his FPL potential. Yes, he's a great player. Yes, he's done really well in past seasons. Yes, he's also probably playing for the best attack in the country, guys. But still, he's not proved himself in the Premier League. This is going to be his first season, so we're not really sure what's going to happen with him in terms of his FPL potential. For that reason, guys, I've gone for the known devil here, who's Harry Kane. And I think he's also kind of expected to start slowly in August. It kind of depends on what kind of data you look at, guys. If you look at the first 5 or 6 games, yes, he's a slightly slow starter in terms of getting attacking returns. But when we look at a slightly longer picture, let's say at least in an average of about 8 to 10 games, maybe even 12 games, I think he kind of covers it up. So in case if you're only looking at an option which is probably for 3 or 4 weeks, then you might want to shift to somebody else, maybe a Gabriel Jesus if you want to go cheaper, or maybe Haaland if you are quite confident in his attacking potential. But for me, guys, right now I have Harry Kane in my draft. It also gives me a cover for the Tottenham team, who have a great opening fixture. Guys, in a situation where Haaland does pretty well, I can probably switch Kane to Haaland in Game Week 2, and then have him for the next few weeks. I feel last season was probably an outlier in terms of Kane starting very slowly because of what was happening to him in terms of his transfer to Man City. Guys, I don't think so this is gonna happen this season, and I think he'll be a revitalized Kane, firing all cylinders. In terms of the other options, guys, we have two 4.5 million strikers as Dutch strikers, and we've not really spent heavily in terms of the attack. So obviously the formation here would be a 5-4-1, going very heavy in terms of defense, spending decently in midfield, and going a bit lighter in attack. Again guys, a word of caution here, this is just a provisional first draft. A lot would change based on injuries, based on fitness levels, based on what we see in the preseason games, so make sure that you keep your eyes and ears open. So what do you think about this team? Which teams and players are you targeting and avoiding for the start, guys? Do let me know in the comments below. So that'll be all from my side, guys, for this video. Do smash that like button if you enjoyed the video today. Please do subscribe to the channel as well for more preseason content. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in Saners next time.